Welcome to our channel, where ordinary pocket change turns into extraordinary discoveries. Some of the most valuable Lincoln pennies in existence began their journey as everyday coins, quietly passing from hand to hand while hiding stories worth thousands. Have you ever held a coin and thought it was more than just metal? Something so small, so ordinary, could carry history, artistry, and even mystery within it? That's exactly what makes the 2015 United States 1-cent penny so fascinating. At first glance, it's tiny, coppery, and easy to overlook, maybe just another coin in your pocket. But look closer, and it's a story, a time capsule, and a tiny piece of American heritage. The story of the penny is almost as old as the United States itself. The 1-cent coin first appeared in 1793, a few years after the Constitution was ratified, making it one of the earliest coins the young nation produced. Early pennies were long, thin, and made primarily of copper. They weren't perfect, they were handmade to a degree, with each strike slightly different, but they symbolized a nation establishing itself in both commerce and identity. In 1909, a milestone occurred that would forever change the penny. Abraham Lincoln became the first real person to appear on a circulating U.S. coin. Placing Lincoln on the penny wasn't just a tribute to the man himself, it reflected America's recognition of leadership, unity, and history. Fast forward to 2015, and the penny still carries Lincoln's profile, but it has undergone transformations in design and composition. Flip it over, and the 2015 cent features the Union Shield, a design introduced in 2010. The shield is striking, a symbol of strength and unity. Each line and division connects the coin to the ideals of a nation striving for cohesion. The 2015 penny is also a product of modern minting. Unlike early pennies made almost entirely of copper, modern cents, including those minted in 2015, have a core of zinc with a thin copper coating. This gives each coin a distinct feel and appearance. Zinc reacts differently to the environment than copper, so some pennies age with a muted tone while others retain a bright shine. Collectors pay attention to the mint mark. The 2015 penny could come from Philadelphia, which sometimes produces coins without a mark, or Denver, which stamps at D. These letters tell a story of where the coin was made. Even in modern minting, tiny differences can occur. The strike might be slightly off-center, the planchet could have a small flaw, or the die could produce a doubled image. These are not defects, they are unique characteristics, turning an ordinary coin into something singular. Condition matters too. A penny that has spent years jingling in a jar will have scratches, wear, and a duller finish. But a coin kept carefully in a protective sleeve retains its sharp lines, bright luster, and intricate detail. When you look closely at a pristine 2015 penny, Lincoln's profile stands out sharply, the lines of his hair, the contours of his face, and the lettering along the edge. The Union Shield on the back reveals intricate workmanship, each vertical stripe and the banner above it clearly defined. Even in a modern production run like 2015, no two pennies are truly identical. Minute differences in coloring, thickness, and strike strength mean that each coin has its own personality. Observing these differences is a joy for anyone interested in numismatics. Now, let's take a closer look at the coin itself. On the front, Lincoln's solemn expression and iconic beard have appeared on coins for over a century, but each minting subtly differs. Every detail is a small puzzle piece telling the story of its creation. The reverse, the Union Shield, was designed with a clear purpose. The shield's 13 vertical stripes represent the original colonies, bound together by a horizontal banner symbolizing unity. The top carries the inscription E Pluribus Unum, a reminder of the nation's founding idea of unity from many states. Errors add another layer of intrigue. Even in 2015, with advanced machinery, mistakes can occur. Perhaps a coin is slightly off-center, or the letters of Liberty are doubled. Maybe there's a tiny blemish in the planchet. These quirks are rare, turning an ordinary coin into a conversation piece. It's a reminder that even in controlled environments, surprises can happen, hidden stories waiting to be discovered. The 2015 penny is a reflection of culture and craftsmanship. Lincoln's face reminds us of a leader who shaped a nation, while the Union Shield evokes unity and strength. Every time you hold one, you're connecting with centuries of design choices and historical significance. Collecting pennies tells a story. Someone who carefully observes and preserves coins engages with history personally. They notice subtle tones, perfect strikes, and small variations. What seems mundane, a small copper-colored disc, is actually a complex artifact that has traveled from molten metal to circulation or careful preservation. There's a quiet thrill in this discovery. The 2015 penny may be small, but it carries heritage, design evolution, and subtle complexity. It reminds us that ordinary things, coins, objects, even moments, can hold extraordinary stories if we take the time to look closely. So next time you come across a 2015 penny, don't toss it in a jar without a thought. Turn it over. Trace Lincoln's profile. Examine the Union Shield. Notice the subtle shine, the tiny variations, the precision of the design. Appreciate the thought, effort, and history that went into creating this small coin. It's not just a penny, it's a piece of a story, waiting for someone curious enough to uncover it. Up next, we turn our attention to a penny that has fascinated collectors for years, the 2004 Lincoln cent. On the surface, it looks like any other coin, but hidden within its design is a twist that transformed it into one of the most talked about coins of the modern era. This is a story of chance, craftsmanship, and a tiny detail that made all the difference. The 2004 penny belongs to the Lincoln cent series, one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. By this time, Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse had been circulating for nearly a century. Yet, in 2004, an anomaly appeared, something subtle, almost invisible, but significant enough to capture the attention of the numismatic world. It is a small, unintentional design variation that became known as the extra leaf or spike penny. Unlike commemorative coins that are deliberately created to stand out, the 2004 extra leaf pennies emerged quietly. The Union Shield on the reverse, introduced just a few years earlier, is a design rich with symbolism. It represents the strength of the nation, the unity of the original 13 colonies, and the enduring values of the United States. But in some coins, a small leaf-like extension protrudes from the right side of the shield, a feature that should never have existed. How did it happen? During minting, dies are prepared to strike millions of coins with extreme precision. Even so, tiny anomalies can occur. In the case of the 2004 extra leaf, a combination of metal flow and dye were caused a leaf to appear that was not part of the intended design. It's a subtle detail, nearly impossible to notice without careful observation, but it is entirely permanent once it appears on a coin. This kind of error falls into a category that numismatists call dye errors or dye varieties. These anomalies happen when the metal, under immense pressure, fills spaces it was not supposed to. Sometimes it produces raised bumps, doubling, or minor distortions. Other times, as with the 2004 penny, it produces a leaf that looks completely natural, blending into the original design. Collectors quickly realized the significance. Unlike coins with scratches or discoloration, this anomaly wasn't accidental damage, it was a part of the coin's creation, making it unique and rare. Its scarcity combined with the visible, intriguing detail made it highly desirable. The rarity isn't about numbers alone, it's about the story each coin tells. The condition of the coin plays an essential role in its appeal. Coins preserved with minimal wear allow the extra leaf to stand out clearly, whereas circulated coins may show the detail less distinctly. A sharp strike and bright luster make it possible to examine the leaf fully and appreciate the precision, or imperfection, of the minting process. What makes the 2004 penny so captivating is the mystery behind it. How many exist? How did they escape detection at the mint? Unlike most modern coins, which are produced with extreme automation and quality control, a handful of coins slip through with these anomalies. It's a reminder that even in the most controlled environments, surprises happen, and sometimes those surprises become treasures. The excitement grows when collectors hunt for these coins. Finding one requires patience, careful examination, and an eye for detail. One must study the Union Shield closely, examining the right side where the extra leaf is located. It is subtle, some might dismiss it as a scratch or manufacturing imperfection, but trained eyes recognize the anomaly for what it truly is, a rare variation that sets the coin apart. Beyond the mystery, the coin also reminds us of the artistry of coin production. Each penny begins as a carefully designed die, engraved with precision to convey both symbolism and clarity. The Union Shield, for example, is full of intentional detail, 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, bound by a banner symbolizing unity, with E pluribus unum inscribed at the top. The leaf error appears almost as a natural extension of this design, blending in seamlessly. The allure of the 2004 penny is not just its rarity, it's the narrative it carries. Unlike coins designed to commemorate an event, this coin's significance came entirely by chance. It challenges collectors to pay attention, to look closer, and to understand that even mistakes in production can result in items of extraordinary interest. The story is a reminder that imperfections can be as fascinating as perfection. For those who love stories of discovery, the 2004 penny exemplifies the thrill of uncovering something rare and unexpected. Each coin is a reminder that chance, artistry, and curiosity converge to create treasures in the most ordinary places. And for anyone holding one of these coins today, it's a connection to that moment of error, preserved forever in copper and zinc. So the next time you handle a 2004 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. Look at the Union Shield, study the right side, and imagine the tiny anomaly that changed the coin's story forever. What seems like a simple coin is actually a bridge between history, chance, and collector's passion. And when all is said and done, this small, unassuming penny holds a truth that is impossible to ignore: its worth can reach $33,000. Moving on to the next coin, we enter the world of a penny that has left collectors in awe for decades, the 1991 D Lincoln cent. On the surface, it looks like any ordinary coin produced in Denver that year, yet it hides a feature so extraordinary that it has elevated it to legendary status among numismatists. The 1991 D penny is not famous because of a new design or a special commemorative series. It is a typical Lincoln cent, featuring the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. But within this unassuming coin lies a rare minting anomaly that makes it stand out. What makes the 1991 D penny remarkable is what collectors call the double die error on the obverse. In simple terms, this means that during the die preparation process, a slight misalignment caused Lincoln's features, or the lettering, to appear doubled. It's subtle, often only visible when examined closely under magnification, but it completely transforms the coin from a standard cent into a highly coveted variety. Double die errors occur when the coin die is impressed more than once during production, but in slightly different positions. The result is duplication of design elements, usually noticeable in lettering, the date, or parts of Lincoln's profile. In the case of the 1991 D, the doubling can be seen along Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and the inscriptions, Liberty, and the date. These tiny details, invisible to most casual observers, make the coin instantly recognizable to collectors. Unlike many other modern coins, which are mass-produced with extreme precision, the 1991 D double die penny demonstrates how even a small misalignment at the mint can produce something extraordinary. Most 1991 D pennies were struck normally, passing through circulation without drawing attention. But the few that carried the double die anomaly became objects of fascination, sought after for both their rarity and the unusual story behind their creation. Condition is especially important with this coin. A well-preserved 1991 D double die penny reveals the doubling sharply, with clear, crisp details. Coins that have circulated heavily or experienced scratches and wear may obscure the anomaly, diminishing their collectible appeal. Collectors prize the coins that have been carefully stored, allowing the doubled features to shine through and showcase the minting quirk in full. Part of the intrigue surrounding this coin is how it emerged. Errors like these are not intentional, they happen during a moment of mechanical imperfection in the minting process. Yet these imperfections create lasting excitement. For those studying coins, the 1991 D double die is a reminder that even in an age of modern machinery, rare anomalies can slip through, turning ordinary cents into treasures. The excitement grows as collectors hunt for this error. Locating one requires patience, careful observation, and an understanding of what to look for. One must examine Lincoln's profile, the date, and the lettering for slight doubling. It's a subtle difference, almost invisible without proper lighting or magnification, but for the trained eye, it is unmistakable. Each coin tells a story of chance, precision, and rarity. Beyond the technical details, the coin also speaks to the artistry and craftsmanship involved in minting. Each Lincoln cent is designed with careful thought, with fine lines capturing facial features, hair, and inscriptions. When an anomaly like the 1991 D double die occurs, it highlights the interplay between human oversight, machine precision, and the unpredictability of minting at scale. The 1991 D double die penny is also a lesson in the value of careful observation. What might appear ordinary at a glance can, under close scrutiny, reveal something extraordinary. It encourages collectors to slow down, look closer, and appreciate the tiny details that make coins unique. And here lies the fascinating truth: a penny that spent most of its life unnoticed, passing from hand to hand, can suddenly become the center of attention when its anomaly is discovered. What was once just another coin in circulation is now recognized as a rare piece of minting history. The significance of this discovery transforms it from a simple 1-cent coin into a symbol of rarity and meticulous craftsmanship. It is in this quiet moment of discovery, when the doubled features become visible, that the coin's true impact is realized. For anyone lucky enough to hold one of these pristine examples, the 1991 D penny is more than just currency, it's a tangible connection to a rare mistake frozen in time. And it is this very combination of rarity, condition, and historical intrigue that has elevated the coin to an astonishing level. Collectors often speak of the thrill of spotting these coins in circulation, the excitement of realizing that a common penny can hold a hidden secret. Every detail, from Lincoln's jawline to the date, is a reminder of the precision and unpredictability of minting. For enthusiasts, it becomes more than a coin, it becomes a story waiting to be uncovered. And after all this, the moment of revelation comes. A 1991 D double die penny in pristine condition can reach an extraordinary sum of $59,000, a staggering figure for a coin that began its life as everyday change. The 1991 D penny reminds us that sometimes, it's the unintentional imperfections, the slight misalignments, the tiny anomalies, that create legends. A simple coin, overlooked by most, can hold decades of intrigue, careful observation, and collector fascination. It is a testament to the idea that rarity and detail, no matter how small, can transform the ordinary into something extraordinary. In the last and most remarkable find of today, we arrive at a penny that stands at the very top of modern Lincoln cent discoveries, the 1972 D Lincoln cent. This is not simply a rare coin, it is a benchmark, a defining moment in error coin history, and a penny that forever changed how collectors view everyday change. The 1972 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint during a time of massive production. Millions upon millions of coins were produced with speed and efficiency, meant to flow seamlessly into daily commerce. Most of them were ordinary in every sense. But hidden among them was a small group of coins born from a critical mistake, one that would later become legendary. What sets the 1972 D penny apart is a dramatic double die error on the obverse that ranks among the strongest ever seen on a Lincoln cent. This is not faint or questionable doubling. It is bold, unmistakable, and immediately visible even without magnification. Lincoln's profile appears duplicated, with clear separation along the contours of his face. The lettering looks thick, layered, and shifted. The date itself appears doubled in a way that demands attention. This type of error occurs during the die-making process, long before the coin ever touches a press. When the hub impressed the design into the die more than once, it failed to align perfectly. That flawed die was then placed into production, and every coin it struck inherited the same dramatic distortion. What makes the 1972 D example so famous is just how severe and clean that doubling turned out to be. Collectors often describe this coin as one of the easiest double dies to recognize. There is no guesswork involved. The doubling doesn't hide in shadows or require special lighting. It announces itself clearly, almost boldly, as if the coin itself wants to be noticed. Lincoln's features appear almost echoed, and the inscriptions seem to vibrate with extra depth. Because of this clarity, the 1972 D penny became a reference point for identifying other double die coins. It is often used as a teaching example, showing just how dramatic a genuine mint error can be when compared to minor machine doubling or wear-related distortions. Despite the intensity of the error, these coins were released into circulation like any other penny. They passed through hands, registers, and pockets for years. Many were spent without a second glance. Some were worn down through use, their dramatic features slowly softened by time. Only later did collectors begin to fully grasp how rare and important these coins truly were. Condition adds another layer of significance to the 1972 D penny. Because the doubling is so strong, wear can blur the separation between the doubled elements. Coins that avoided heavy circulation preserve sharp, crisp lines, allowing the error to remain visually powerful. These well-preserved examples are exceptionally difficult to find, and their survival is almost miraculous. As awareness grew, collectors began actively searching through rolls and collections, hoping to uncover an untouched example. Stories circulated of lucky finds and missed opportunities, adding to the coin's mystique and fueling its reputation as a true modern treasure. The 1972 D double die penny holds a special place in numismatic history because it helped elevate error collecting into the mainstream. It proved that modern coins could possess the same excitement, prestige, and historical importance as much older rarities. It encouraged collectors to slow down, inspect their change, and appreciate the stories hidden within ordinary objects. There is also something deeply human about this coin story. A brief moment of misalignment, something measured in fractions of a second, created a lasting artifact that would be studied, admired, and sought after for generations. It's a reminder that perfection is not always what creates history. Sometimes, it's the flaw that leaves the strongest legacy. For collectors, the 1972 D penny represents the ultimate discovery. It is bold, unmistakable, historically important, and visually striking. It doesn't whisper its rarity, it declares it. Finding one is not just about owning a coin, it's about holding a piece of minting history that changed the hobby itself. And then comes the moment that cements its legendary status. One exceptional example of the 1972 D double die penny was sold for an astonishing $87,000, a result that transformed a humble 1-cent coin into one of the most celebrated modern discoveries of all time. The 1972 D penny stands as the crown jewel of today's finds, a powerful reminder that extraordinary stories can emerge from the smallest mistakes, and that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are the ones no one meant to create. And with that, today's journey through some of the most fascinating pennies ever discovered comes to an end. From subtle minting quirks to bold, unmistakable errors, each coin reminds us that history can hide in the smallest details. What looks ordinary today could be tomorrow's incredible discovery, waiting for someone curious enough to take a closer look. So the next time you come across a handful of change, pause for a moment. Look carefully. You never know what story might be hiding in plain sight, quietly carrying decades of history and possibility. If you enjoyed exploring these remarkable finds, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more rare coins, hidden errors, and unbelievable discoveries from everyday change. Hit the like button if this video sparked your curiosity, and feel free to share it with a fellow collector or coin enthusiast.